papers and does all of that. At the end of the day, he travels there. He can go wherever he wants to go, do whatever he wants to do, and then still come back. Okay, I think there is a case of insecurity here. She feels insecure. She's afraid. A lot of men, some men go out there. At the end of the day, they marry another wife after having their papers. They divorced the wives who facilitated their movement there. Bad. Yeah. I think she's just trying to protect herself, protect her children, and all of that. But for me, I think the criteria here is I really don't see it as being realistic, right? Remember when the popular pastor, Pastor Chibuzo, came online to announce that anybody that will marry the child, the autistic child, they will give a house, they will place on salary, they will give this and that. Come and see application. I think that marriage was withdrawn. So do we really think, or do we truly believe that he said he got over 1,000 applications within how many hours? Okay. Do you really think every one of those men came out for love?
What a question.
So at the end of the day,
I'm sure that's a rhetorical question.
Exactly.
But I take something out of that. The woman knows her man. Not everybody would do that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Well, thank you so much for being there. We'll go on a short break. When we return, Softline continues, so stay there.
The global business is never static. Watch the market report on ADBN TV for business information, latest happening, business deals, government economic policies, stock, crude oil and commodity trading, financial upstick and downstick, and the world of organized private sector. The market report showing on ADBN TV, 1 to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday. The market report, bringing you up to speed in the business world.
An impact in humanitarian industry.
I am so delighted. I'm very happy to be a winner of Ease and Cruising.
Download the app and you may be the next week lucky winner.
We have been able to give you a different perspective to entertainment program. We don't only entertain you with good musicals. We celebrate Nigerians. Watch it, participate, and feel the cruising moments.
Every second, a story breaks.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has formally presented the 2026 appropriation bill to the National Assembly.
The nation reacts. The world shifts. History moves in real time. Before the noise, before the opinions. One screen keeps you connected. From the headlines shaking the nation to the stories everyone talks about tomorrow. Stream anytime, anywhere. When the story matters, you know where to turn. ADBN. A part of you.
Hello and welcome. Moving on to what we have today, they say friends are the family we choose. But what really makes a friendship last? Is it loyalty that stands firm through life storms? Is it love that accepts us for who we are? Or is it knowing the limits that keep every relationship healthy? Think about that. So today our topic is on true friendship. Loyalty, love, and limits. We will explore what genuine friendship really looks like, why loyalty matters, how love strengthens meaningful connections, and why the closest friendships need healthy boundaries. Joining us today to unpack and explore this crucial topic is Pastor Onyechi Azaya Sam Amaga, founder, Legacy and Influence Academy. Hello, Pastor, are you there?
Hello, thank you so much for having me on set today. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Can you hear us, Pastor?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Now.
Awesome.
Well,
thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here on ADBN TV. Thank you so much. My beautiful friend, Queen Esther, thank you.
we're excited to have you on the show too. And the topic,
Thank
I think,
you.
is very relevant at this point in time. Yeah, so
Awesome.
let's quickly delve into the topics. Many people will walk in. There's a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. He says, many people will walk into your life and walk out of your life, but only true friends leave footprints in your heart. About that.
Okay, so who is a true friend? A true friend, first of all, we need to understand what friendship is all about. Who is a friend? A friendship is a voluntary relationship built on trust, mutual respect, and shared values, support and genuine care. So for you to call someone a friend, it means it's somebody that you truly love and respect, and there is mutual respect between the both of you. You share same values, you support each other, you genuinely care for that person. And friendship is one of life's greatest gifts that God has given to us. So it's a relationship of intentionality. So for someone to leave a lasting imprint in your life, that means that person is a trustworthy person, is someone that is very intentional about impact and legacy. So you're not in somebody's life for what you are just going to gain, but what those people also benefit from you. What are they going to say about you when you're not there? That's something we should have at the back of our mind when we are in any relationship, and this particular one as friendship. So for somebody to be able to, make that impact in somebody's life, that means that friendship is truly a quality one. There is trust, there's loyalty, there is honesty, there's respect, and there is kindness. And most importantly, I think friendship comes with sacrifice. Sacrifice.
Completely. So what are those unrealistic expectations people, place on friends?
That one is very, very interesting. Like they should agree with all their opinion, not setting boundaries. You want me to be loyal to you, but you don't want to also listen to my genuine counsel or advice. So those are unrealistic expectations. You don't expect your friend to, do I say, go out of their way is in a way that is going to actually affect them or impact them negatively. Those are very unrealistic expectations. Yeah.
So, Vanessa, you want to come in here?
Yeah. So,
can you hear me?
you see, sometimes we grow up with friends, by virtue of being classmates in primary schools. You have some friends. Sometimes some people get lucky to grow into or move into secondary schools with their friends. And then some of them also move into the university together. And, just because of them being within the same environment for that long, they automatically become friends, right? However, it's not the same for every other person there. So for the one who has not, for example, a man who is an army officer who is constantly transferred from barracks to barracks across the country, right? Children who have parents who are military officials, they attend several schools, so many schools before they're done with their education because of the constant transfers. How can they build healthy relationships? Because they never get the opportunity to sit through maybe elementary school or middle school, and others for a particular set of friends, with a particular set of friends for a long time. How can they build healthy friendships?
Okay, so like I said earlier, thank you so much, Queen Esther. Like I said earlier, friendship is intentionality. Okay, so when you find yourself in different locations, for someone like me that is a pastor and a pastor's wife, and had, been through so many transfers in ministry. I've been in several states. I've been in Akwa Ibom, I've been in Enugu, I've been in Abuja. I'm president in Port Harcourt. Friendship is intentionality. There are people that you know that you just cannot let them off your life. You need them because you need not just loyal friends, you need wise counselors, those that can also counsel you. Those friends that can tell you what you are doing right or what you are doing wrong are people that you cannot let go in your life. You don't want to have friends are always cheering you, whether you're doing something wrong or something good. They're just, okay, yes, it's okay, just be going like that. No. Because of that, you say, thank God for technology. Yeah, thank God for technology. So with technology, a lot of gap has been breached already. So you need to still maintain, calling for chatting and texting. And of course, there's video calls. So when you yourself in different states at different times and seasons of your life, you need to maintain that communication, the communication gap, and also to find, just like you must have your own policy, your personal boundaries, who you are, your values. Those are the things that help you to choose friends. What are your values? What are your policies? What are your principles that guide your life? So when you find yourself in a new environment, you must look out for people that also live or revere this kind of value you have, so that your friendship can work. All right. So it's to keep new friendship and continue the old ones in different your life. But the most important is communication is still there, good one, cause respect, and then the boundaries that need to be set for every relation.
So is it also right to outgrow friendship? You outgrow friends?
Absolutely. 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 You can. In fact, you should. You're not growing. Like I'll give you an example. Last year, I think sometime last year, there's this friend of ours, family friend, we grew up together, and the last time we saw was school. While I was in secondary school, of course. When I got into the university, I went to the eastern part of Nigeria, and because of I lost touch with so many persons and so many friends, and of course, from school, I got married, and then my transfers began. So this is like 14 years apart, if not more. More than that, because that. And something because there was a loss in him, and we needed to just come attend burial, very painful burial. I don't want to go into it, but when some of my siblings, because when we got together, reception, and I discovered behaviors that were still there for 10 years now. Certain lifestyle, certain the level of speech, you understand, the way they say, so they still had this old perception of me, whereas I'm a changed person, I'm a grown woman. I'm no more the girl you used to know in junior secondary school. Life, I'm a mother. I've grown. And so there's to, maintain the same, the way they still speak, when people are talking to you, like, how do I say now certain things, like you decrease, those kind of terms. And see any visible that could make me want to continue that relationship. So I had to use wisdom. Yeah, what we needed to do in the barriers. It's after that, communication, zero. So if we meet ourselves, of course, hello, hi, but nothing more than that. Have you come to my space, me, your space? Of course, friendship, you can grow friends, definitely. You can.
Okay, give scenario. Don't you think they might look at you as being egoistic or something? Probably they would have had expectations of you help out of whether remember true friends stick to each other, support each other, so try to get out of it.
Yeah.
So where you meet someone that you haven't met in a very long while and the person doesn't measure up, as a friend, doesn't it behove on you to see how you can, what you can do to make that person, at least come up to be at par with you, or at least meet you halfway so that you guys can still maintain that friendship rather than walk away?
Okay. Yes, I get your point. Absolutely. And it still boils down to values.
Values,
okay?
Yeah.
Values. Okay, so I've looked at it. Okay, I know where I'm going. I know where I'm at now. I know where I'm headed. And so if I see that certain persons cannot fit into the place I am going to, I can't drag them along. I mean, there's no time to start dragging anybody. But the fact that I am not going to bring them into that private space, it doesn't mean that I cannot relate to them. I could still say hello, hi, if I need to, or for each other. But because of my values, my policies, the things I believe and where I'm headed, it's almost very impossible to try to bring them, because they also have their own values. Like when you listen to someone, you know where they're going to. So you can actually tell yourself, can I or can I not? Some persons try to, how do I put it now? They're not trying to really, continue the relationship in a way that is mutual. So it's sort of like, do I say condescending in a way? So when you perceive certain attitude from that person, you need to watch out. Like, am I in your life to be used, or for certain things you want to achieve? So you have to pay attention to that. So I've looked at everything. That, just like I said, I can't go into plenty details, but I've weighed everything, and I know that the best thing is I cannot bring them into my space to the extent that they might want, because I've already looked into the future. I don't see them there. If we're still believers, we're Christians, when we see, we're going to be cool. However, nothing more than, the arm's length.
Yeah, I
For
agree
my
with
own
you.
mental reasons, for your own safety, your marriage, your ministry, it's not everywhere you need to appear. Of course, because I'm a minister. So my marriage is at stake here, my personality, my reputation, my ministry, my children's life. So that's why I say I can't go into details, but these are the things that I've weighed. And then I have to make the decision.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. But how do you communicate this so that they don't feel pain? They don't feel they don't feel like you're looking down on them. How do you communicate this?
Okay.
And this goes to every friendship, because some people, when they have friends who seem to be no more at par with them, maybe a little bit higher, they're not reaching out. They feel the person has abandoned them. What advice would you give to people that have friends and then that are no more at the same level? One person have gone higher, to understand that life has moved on. Not that the person have abandoned you, but the person still cares, just that both of you can do those things you used to do together before. Maybe status or all of that.
Yeah. Well, you still have to find a way. Just like I said, technology is there. Your phone is there. You can reach out when you have to. Just for instance, when we learned that there was a loss in the family, we reached out, and we went the extra mile to, go felicitate with them who were there present. So in communicating, there are some things, I don't know. I think is certain friendships or relationships, there are certain things that might be very difficult to put it all out there, because if you have weighed the person's level of maturity and understanding, if you try to be honest and frank with them on certain matters, you may still lose them completely. So because you know your values and where you are headed, there are still some persons you just need to apply wisdom. So it could just be, I can check up on this person once in a while, okay? but that is just where it is. That's where it ends. Then if there is anything that runs my presence, of course I can be there. But it will be almost very difficult to, say, try to carry them along in your life's journey, because they may not get it. They just may not be able to get it. It's only a case where this friend is ready to evolve. Do you understand? If they are ready to evolve, they are ready for growth, yes, then maybe there can be room for you to begin to explain or coach them, or advise them, say, okay, see. It's not necessarily because of status in quotes, because okay, I am this now, because even they have very big status as well. So it's not really about the status now, it's just about we don't agree on certain things. Our values are just way different. So there still has to be that room for, okay, wisdom in trying to relate. So, but if it's still possible for you to communicate and let them know, okay, because of this and that, I may not be able to continue certain things. But that still depends on if they have that level of maturity to receive what you are saying. But in a case where they may not be able to understand it, they will just conclude that you have abandoned me. So what is left for you is just to keep, the communication points open once in a while. Hello, how you doing? Just sort of you, okay? But you still know where they are in your life. They know where you are in their life. Then, of course, in friendship, there is still avenue for saying no. If you are called upon for anything or occasion that you can't be there, oh no, I'm so sorry, I won't be able to make it. I don't need to give you all the details why I won't be able to make it. So it's still dependent on you. It's your life. You have to live it. You don't have to live it for the next person. You have to live it, making sure that you are not in danger or endangering someone else's life, but most importantly, that you are pleasing God and that you are still in the will of God. So that's how I see it. No ego attached, no hard feelings. It's just what it is. That's how it is. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so very much. I take something out from there, that it's okay to say no to friends.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So when you say no and the other friend doesn't understand that this your no, it's without you do not mean any harm, you're
Yeah.
genuinely saying no because you don't believe in that course, you don't believe in whatever, maybe it was an invitation or something, and you don't think you should be there. It doesn't align with your values, and so how?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you make them understand that your no doesn't mean you are belittling them, or you're not part of them, or I don't know. That is not rejection. I'm just trying to get the right word.
Okay, I get you. Yeah, it still boils down to we need to have awareness, okay? Because we have said, I define friendship as a voluntary act. It's voluntary, it's intentional. Okay, for the fact that I chose you to be my friend, it doesn't mean I'm in bondage in this relationship. So I could say yes, I could say no. I have the right to do that. I can't say yes to everything, even to your siblings. You don't say yes to your siblings all the time, even your children, even to your spouse. So why can't I say no to a friend? And if I go as far as trying to get you to understand and you're refusing to understand, well, in friendship, there's also misunderstandings and disagreement. So both of you, there should be some level of maturity to know that it's not every time we have to agree on a point. Okay, so if we don't agree on this, can we leave it be? Or you still want us to talk about it? If we cannot understand ourselves, then maybe we need counselors. So, but I believe that friendship, because it's a voluntary thing, nobody is under duress to have to, please the other person. It has to, the Bible says, of course, you love your neighbor as you love yourself. So anything I have to do for you that will cost me my sanity, my peace, as in to an extent that I have to feel terrible because I did it for you, then I don't think there's any blessing attached to it. I'm not talking about sacrifice. There are times for sacrifice, okay? For you to, take on a trip to go visit somebody that you call a friend, that's enough sacrifice, okay? But when I say no to a particular thing and I have genuine reason, and I'm trying to make you understand why I'd had to say no, and you still cannot get it, then I need to question our friendship. Because friendship is not bondage. It's a voluntary act that two persons have agreed, to be there for each other, support each other. But even in this relationship and support and genuine care, there is still boundaries. There is still that space to be able to express yourself without being judged or without being seen as you are being, wicked or distancing yourself from the person. There are times when you can't pay certain visits. For instance, if you're heavy as a pregnant friend, as a friend, you're pregnant, and something comes up that you need to make a journey, and you have weighed the pros and the cons. If I embark on this journey, it's going to affect me health-wise. You tell your friend, my love, I can't come. Even though that thing is very important, you know that, of course, if it was in my own, if I was disposed, I'll be able to come. But I'm heavy now, and me making that journey, maybe a road trip, for instance, is going to impact me negatively. I can't come. And if you can't understand it, then that means our friendship needs to be, scrutinized. So saying no does not mean that you are wicked or you are not sensitive or you are not a genuine or caring friend. It just means that you're also paying attention to yourself, because you must love your neighbor as yourself, not more than yourself. Not more than yourself.
So,
Ask yourself.
Okay, so can friendship actually go wrong? And then, I'm going to put all these questions together in one so that you can take them at once, Pastor Amaga. So can friendship go wrong? And if yes, is forgiveness and reconciliation, possible? Okay. And what do we do when friendships go wrong, particularly when a friend betrays us? When one's friend betrays the person, what should be done? How should it be handled? Also, talk about the forgiveness or reconciliation aspect.
Yes, thank you so much for that question. Friendship can go wrong. Of course, we are human beings. And Jesus said offense will be there. Okay? And friendship can go wrong. And there are so many factors that could cause that, we've pointed some of them. Growth level, maybe one of you outgrew the other person in life's perspective, maturity, understanding, maybe status quo change and all of that. Friendship can go wrong. And of course, if there is betrayal in friendship, most cases, there are some that are irreparable. Yes, and there's nothing you can do about it. If it's beyond repair, it's beyond repair. Then life goes on. But if it's maybe a kind of person that you truly want to continue relating with, then there are things you can do. Number one, you can address the issue. You can address the issue. And remember, I said you need to now find out if this friend of yours is a mature person. Is he mature enough to be open to addressing issues? Because there are people that don't know how to confront issues. Confronting issues doesn't have to be, I'm coming to box you. Oh, you said this about me. You did this about me. No. Is, oh, my love, sweetheart, wow, this happened. I just wanted to know your perception about it. Or I heard this. Or did you say this? Or this is how I felt when I heard this. There are tones that can be used to get, the Bible says, Proverbs 15:1 says, a soft answer turneth away wrath. Okay, so how you say it and how you answer it can determine if the friendship can be rebuilt again. So first of all, you have to think of how to address the issue if you still want the friendship to continue. Okay, then you must communicate honestly. Communicate honestly. You have to be honest. I was hurt. Okay, I heard this about you, or I heard this you said about me. I was hurt. First of all, you have to find out, is it true? Did you say that? And if he did say, or if she did say, you have to communicate honestly, expressing your feelings, how you felt about it. Then find out, seek understanding. Okay, what could have made her or him to, do what he or she did? Okay, were they under duress? Were they under pressure? Or was it because they were just, being disloyal friends? Seek to understand what caused, the issue of betrayal. then forgive. You just have to forgive. Jesus said we must forgive. You can't, the forgiveness you must understand is for you, it's not for the person. Because when you don't forgive somebody, your heart will not be at peace. Then try to rebuild trust if possible. Okay? And in most cases, distance might be necessary. You can distance yourself. Friendship does not mean that both of you must be in the same room all the time. So there are instances where you need that separation so that both of you can begin to place value on yourselves again. Yeah. So forgiveness is very important. You just have to forgive. It's difficult, but you have to forgive. And once you forgive, in most cases, you may not necessarily bring the person back to your space anymore. In most cases. So if it comes to that point, life goes on. But if that person is a very important person in your life, then you have to walk the process of rebuilding trust again. But it's a gradual process. It's a gradual process. You don't just open up again and begin to trust immediately. No, you have to build that friendship all over again and gradually. Okay.
That's a very wise counsel there. That's a very wise counsel. And I take something, I was smiling when you said you have to forgive. And I remember that people who say, I can never forgive. We'll be back. Let's go on a short break. When we return, the program continues. Stay there.
Every second, a story breaks.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has formally presented the 2026 appropriation bill to the National Assembly.
The nation reacts. The world shifts. History moves in real time. Before the noise, before the opinions. One screen keeps you connected. From the headlines shaking the nation to the stories everyone talks about tomorrow. Stream anytime, anywhere. When the story matters, you know where to turn. ADBN. A part of you.
Okay, so welcome back. Yeah, Pastor, that was a nice session before we went on break.
Yes, thank you so much. We're having a good time.
I can see, and we're also having a good time here because you're really giving some insightful thoughts into friendship and how one can stay loyal to it. So just as we're about to continue, the question is, what ways can one have a healthy relationship? What are the ways we can have a healthy relationship?
First of all, you need to be the friend that you want your friend to be. Okay? Be that person that you want some other person to be to you. If you want somebody to respect you, be respectful. If you want somebody to trust you, then be trustworthy. Building healthy relationships, it requires a lot of commitment. then you must also communicate openly, all right? Keep confidences. Keep confidences. If there is any confidential matter between the both of you, it should remain confidential. I mean, I shouldn't share certain things with you that are private in my life, and then I hear it on another person's mouth. There is no confidentiality, and that actually breaks trust in friendships. Okay, so you must show empathy. Okay, you must show empathy. Be kind. Be kind. Respect boundaries, and invest time too. You know, friendship requires time. Sometimes when I'm on the phone call with Quidens, that will go talk, like as if we don't have other things to do. You need to invest time. Sometimes you just need to, cheer up your friend, make them feel good, happy, and, feel loved again. Most times when we talk for some time, some persons will, receive the inner strength, that they have been looking for. Yeah, so you must keep confidentiality. You must be the friend that you want your friend to be. Communicate openly. Gossip should not even be part of it. Yeah, it should not be part of it. So I think that's it.
Can go on and on, but it depends on the kind of
There's so
friendship
much. Yes,
you
yes.
have. So let's
Yeah.
quickly talk about boundaries, because I think you mentioned boundaries as one of those things you can set for a healthy relationship. When you talk about setting boundaries, let's talk more on it. I think people misunderstand the concept of setting boundaries and then set the boundaries or underset the boundaries. So let's talk about setting boundaries. What are the do's, what are the don'ts, and what are the limits to the boundaries which we can set?
Boundaries are very, very important to every relationship. Boundaries can actually help to protect your relationship. Boundaries will help to protect your relationship. Boundaries will help to prevent resentment. It will also create that room for mutual respect. Okay, if I know the things you like and the things you don't like, then I'm very careful to, enforce things in our relationship. For instance, two friends that are married, one of their spouses is a very outgoing person, and the other person's spouse is not. The one that is not outgoing does not like, unnecessary, outdoor events or visiting without pre-information. Those are boundaries that can be set. So for you to be a good friend, and you must share that with your other friend. Okay, my spouse doesn't like unnecessary visitation or no pre-informed information before coming. So, but if there is a pre-information, then both of you can prepare to receive a friend as a guest. So you will not now say, because but I'm your friend now, I should just, what do you call it now? Storm into your house anytime, walk into your house anytime without any prior information. No, it doesn't work that way. You are breaking their boundaries. So if that's that, because now, even though I'm your friend, my spouse may not necessarily be your friend. Okay, as in quotes, as per that closeness. But of course, he recognizes that we are friends. But we must learn to honor one another's, boundaries set by both of yourselves. So if to maintain our relationship, everybody must learn to respect one another's boundaries. So your spouse is an outdoor person or is not an outdoor person, you must take note of that. Okay. For instance, my spouse is not. You can't, if you come without him inviting you or without you informing him. He will say the reception will still be cool, but I know the things I would have worked behind the scene to avert unnecessary, outlashing on somebody. But I think boundaries are very important. It protects the relationship. It does
When you
protect
talk about
relationship.
boundaries, how do you set boundaries between a relationship where one person is married and the other person is a single person and not married? How do you set boundaries for such relationships?
Okay, so where there is a case of single and married, it still boils down to values, respect. Okay, so if I'm single and I have a friend that is married, I must learn that and understand that has come into the picture, and marriage is a bond that is sacred. Now that I'm single and a friend to a married person, I must learn that, understand that, and maintain the respect that is required of me in that relationship. So if you're single relating to someone that is married, please, it's very important that you take note of that. So if your friend that is married, you maybe reach out to her, oh babes, can we hang out? And she says, I'm sorry, my spouse is around. I'm not disposed now because of, and you don't have the right to start saying every time your husband, everything. No, you don't do that, because that's marriage. So anything you find in there is what you're going to deal with. So my mother-in-law, Bishop Loves Mamaga, will always say that marriage is like a gift. A gift is in a gift foil, right? So when you come into the marriage, you begin it is what you see that you take. So if you have a spouse that does not that doesn't want you to be out of the house by a certain time, and your friend that is single is calling you at that time, until now, you know what the best thing to do. So your single friend should understand that and respect that, because you are praying for her to get married in the future. And when she enters the marriage, she will understand. Okay, so apart from even your spouse, what about children? As a married person, you know that there are times you should not be out because of your children. I mean, before we came back on this break, I had just done small breastfeeding now. So I will not say because my friend is calling me, we are gisting and chatting there, my baby is crying and I'll leave her. No, no, no. I have to pay attention. So there has to be that value, there has to be that respect. I'm very keen on respect. Just respect what is ordained. Finish. And that's on period. Respect what is already ordained. There's no argument about it.
think
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think our director is ready with the tweets. Let's take our tweets and see if we can have a new trajectory to this discussion. Okay, and so there's this quote, Stella says, friendship means understanding, not agreement. It means forgiveness, not forgetting. It means memories last, even if contact is lost. I think I agree with that. And friendship, according to Bluebird, the yes, friendship is one of the purest forms of love because nobody has to stay, and yet they do. And AOB says, there are no perfect friends anywhere, just beautiful souls with genuine intentions and committed hearts. Real friendship isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And Joanna Beck says, friendship isn't measured by history, it's measured by loyalty. Okay. So did you follow our tweet?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I know that of we've had the words loyal there, and then the striking one they had to say that a friendship, you don't need to stay, but you still get committed to it. And you had said something earlier on that purest friendship is one of the purest forms of love because nobody has to stay, and yet they do. Exactly. Thank you, Director. So, and you had said it's a voluntary thing when we started. Friendship is voluntary.
Yeah.
And so where people impose themselves on you, that you have scenarios like that. People want to force themselves on you to become friends. We must be friends. And like you said, your ideals, your virtues, your, philosophy may not just align. And then you have this person flocking around you. How do you deal with that situation?
Oh my God, that's a very, very tough one. Well, but I think it's still something that can be managed. Still, the foundation is your values, principles, your beliefs, your ideologies, your faith. If someone is trying to force themselves on you, you still have the right to say yes or no. you are the more mature, you still have to create that will not get the other person offended. Now, it's not necessarily that you will bluff the person when they come running to, maybe give a hug or greet. It just means, assuming they have your contacts, it's not every time or immediately you are responding to every call or every chat almost immediately. There has to be that, time frame you give so that the person also knows that I'm not just there at your beck and call at any time. Yes, especially when you know that this person, I really do not want that person in my space. But just like I said earlier, once there is boundaries, when you set certain boundaries and when you make, there are things you do that passes, very like a full paragraph of information without you having any need to say anything. Somebody can come make certain jokes around you and you don't get a smile. Just keep a neutral face, or you adjust your face in a certain way. The person gets the message that this is not well taken. So somebody's trying to impose or force themselves on you to become friends by all means. You still have the power and the right to work on it not happening, because you already know the future. You already know how it's going to end. Psalm 1 and verse 1 says, blessed is the man that does not stand, nor sit, does not walk in the way of sinners or the ungodly. So if that person, maybe you've with the person does not have any, there's not, because of course, it's not because you want to gain anything from them, but their relationship with you is going to impact you negatively, so to say, maybe who they are, their personality or their reputation that is already maybe not good enough for your own person. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there. You just find a way to communicate in a mature way, respectful way, in a loving way. Communicate, but give off certain body language that makes the person get it.
All right. So just before we go, should friends tell each other everything?
Nope. No. No. Why? Because people grow, people change. Yeah. People grow up, people change, and people change for good, people change for the bad. You never can tell certain things that could happen to somebody that can make them become a different person entirely. And there are sensitive things you might have shared with that kind of person. Just like we are saying on social media, it's not everything you put out there on social media, because you never know what's going to haunt you in the future. Okay, so same thing applies. It's not everything you share. For instance, let me give a scenario. There is a marriage or a couple that's got infidelity issues. It's not wise for you to begin to share such issues with a friend that is not mature or that has not gone through that particular phase in her own life. Do you understand? That person has not been through infidelity issues with her own spouse. So you, as a friend, you don't have to go share yours with that person, especially when you know that person is not mature, have not gone through that part, cannot handle it. They may go start saying, hey, well,
Thank
Chiamaka,
you.
our husband used to beat down, those kind of things. So it's not necessary.
I must really thank you. Thank you, Pastor Inye, for your insight into this topic. I think you've done justice to it, and we really appreciate you over here. Thank you for being there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this time. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
TV, ADBN TV. Thank you.
ADBN TV, you're right.
Thank you,
yes.
Minister. Thank you for hosting me.
Thank you.
I'm grateful.
So, Esther, I think how time flies. We've just had to call it a wrap on today's session. So I would like us to remember that true friendship is not about being perfect. It is about being present. Also, true friendship is not measured by how long you have known someone, but by the love shown. Exactly. Loyalty demonstrated and the respect for boundaries. Yeah, read that. But underline that word boundaries. Cherish the friends who uplift you. Be the kind of friend you hope to have, and ensure to set healthy limits that protect your peace. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. Until next time, bye for now.